Whenever I get the chance to play for any elementary kids or middle school kids, I always get to tell them that I love playing tuba and euphonium because we can play whatever we want. We can play high, fast, classical, or jazz music, just as Marty proved, and it's always fun. Our next artist is a native of San Antonio, Texas, and he taught at Texas State University for 12 years and is now the Jazz Studies Director at the University of Indianapolis in Indianapolis. Freddie Mendoza has played with so many people, and he's been just an inspiration to myself as a euphonium player who's someone that was playing jazz, and I said, hey, I can also play jazz. And I'm sorry. So Freddie has played with many greats, including Wynton Marsalis, Clark Terry, Bill Watrous, Bob Binzer, and now the United States Army Blues. Please welcome Freddie Mendoza.
Thank you very much. So, like Chris was saying, you know, I mean, I've really been playing jazz ever since I started playing the euphonium in 6th grade. I guess I was a true euphoniumist. I actually picked that instrument out of all the instruments, and I didn't know. You know, all my friends were picking trombone and trumpet and drums, and I just, you know, I saw the instrument. It was shiny. I liked it. I picked it up. I could make a sound on it. It had a different sound than the other instruments. It was a really beautiful sound. You know, euphonium, euphonious sound, beautiful sound is literally what it means. And I immediately began to get into trouble in my middle school band because I was always like noodling around on the stuff I was supposed to play. And a lot of times I wouldn't even play the euphonium part. I would start learning the trumpet part and start learning that melody, and then I'd get busted for that. And so right away, at the very beginning, I started improvising. And I can't even remember when it happened, but I was listening to something, maybe somebody played it for me, and I heard this euphonium is just tearing up the instrument, but playing jazz on it. And that was the first time I ever heard anybody play jazz on a euphonium. You know, every album that I had was you know, Bill Watrous, or it was a trumpet player, it was somebody, you know, Charlie Parker, you know, Clifford Brown, and here was this guy just ripping apart the euphonium. And so I was like, man, who is this guy? And, you know, how, you know, what's the story with this? It's, you know, because at first it sounded like a flugelhorn. You know, he was playing it so high up. And I found out his name was Rich Madison. And then a few years later, I was in college, and I got a chance to be in the All-American College Marching Band, and actually played in the band with a couple of trumpet players back there, Graham Reynolds and Ken McGee, and we were in this band together. And Graham Reynolds, sorry, Graham Breedlove. I have a friend named Graham Reynolds. Yeah, the only other guy in the world I know named Graham. And yeah, I was there, man. I'm not nervous. I don't want you to think I'm nervous or anything. So, no, but I heard this guy, and then we were in the Disney band, and he was a guest artist, and he came down, and I had taken my euphonium, even though it wasn't in the band, and you know, instantly he was like, man, you play euphonium. Wow, you know, I play euphonium. Let's play together. So we jammed out, and we became friends. And, you know, Rich Madison was touring the world teaching people jazz on euphonium, which was just crazy to me. I was like, this guy's pulling down, like, you know, 6 figures a year playing jazz euphonium, you know? And he instantly became a mentor and a friend, and you know, he's inspired so many tubists and euphoniumists to pick up jazz, and I hope that, you know, these tuba euphoniums out there will play jazz. You should. It's fun. You should improvise. I don't care what instrument you play. You should improvise. Whether it's classical improvisation or whatever, you should be improvising. It's really a truly freeing thing. And then, you know, Rich unfortunately passed, and he passed in the early 90s, and about 5 years after he passed, his wife called me. And she said, I want to sell Rich Madison's euphonium. And she goes, would you be interested in buying his horn? And I was floored. I was in college. I was like, yes, I would love to buy his horn. I can't afford it. I don't have any money. And she said, no, it's okay. Just send me whatever you can, whenever you can. I'll keep a ledger. We'll, you know, when you pay it off, it's yours. I just want somebody to play it. She goes, I want to make sure somebody's going to play this horn and it doesn't just sit in a closet somewhere. So this is Gertrude. That's what Rich called her, Gertrude. And, you know, this horn taunts me every day of my life, just looking at me like, why aren't you practicing me? Why aren't you working on me? Any of you knew who Rich Madison was? He practiced like crazy. And so, you know, one of the tunes that I heard him play many times, when I got this gig, I thought, man, this is a great opportunity to pull out a Rich tune and talk about Rich Madison. And so I pulled this next tune. It was actually in my library at the University of Indianapolis. And almost like I had to play it. And it was a tune he loved and was always playing at conferences and at clinics. It's called Georgia. Many of you are familiar with it, Hoagie Carmichael's Georgia. It's a beautiful song. And so I'm going to play this, and this is for Gertrude, and this is for Rich Madison. And as Rich said, for all the people I love. So he said, always play for someone you love. So, and I'm going to play for all of you, hopefully out of love, and I hope to find some of those notes that Rich found. We'll see how it goes. But and what about this band, right? I mean, is this ridiculous? And Marty Erickson. He's a beast. So here we go. It's amazing how your mouth will get dry when you step on a stage in front of a band like this. he's tuning up a little bit, I just want to say, like I said, I've been playing jazz really all my life, but this is an amazing opportunity, and I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank Chris Buckley and the United States Army, and I've been watching these guys and listening to these guys for a long time, and some of my heroes are in this band, and it's a tremendous honor to play for these gentlemen. They're absolutely amazing, so thank you.
Well, we're going to bring Marty out for one more, but as we get to the end of our concert, I would like to say a few things. If you have an opportunity, if you haven't already been there, www.usarmyband.com. There's our full calendar there, about 6,000 events a year, so come on out to all of them you can make. But also there on the top of that on the top of that web page, there's a patron survey where you can tell us what you thought about the event. Now, jazz, I'm a French horn player, so jazz is a rough thing for me. But he's absolutely right. You want to work on that improvisation. The blues have a wonderful product. We have a product called the Blues Plus You. They've done recordings, and if you'll go on to the Army Band website, you can go on there. You can find recordings of this magnificent ensemble, print out the music, and there's a load of MP3 files and audio files where you can pick which instrument you don't want to listen to, and you can play that part. So it's the music minus one for you. So it's a wonderful project that they've been doing. It's really just amazing stuff. There is remarkable music on there. So if you want to practice your jazz, there's a great way to do it. So let's bring Marty back out. But while he's coming on out, I'd like to introduce the rest of our soloists that we had tonight. On saxophone, Sergeant First Class Bill Linney. Sergeant First Class Antonio Orta. Master Sergeant Dave Brown on bari sax. And how can you miss him? Master Sergeant Steve Fiddick on drums. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the performance, and now for something really special. If I only had a Porsche. Let's get them together.
Not like the last piece. This is going to be a nice, gentle drive. You don't want it to go too long. But there's another a great chart by Ron Newman. Features both, can't think of a better guy to play it than Freddie. It's new for both of us, a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy it. If I only had a Porsche, the rest of the title is, I would while away the hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have an absolutely wonderful evening.